Place the collar right side on the right side of the neckline, pin on the place on the marks and sew in the seam line. After that, cut seam allowances off to a few millimeters. Fold the seam allowance on the inside of the collar under and press it optionally. Fold it over the seam of the collar top, pin and stitch from the right side at the edge. Take all the time of the world to make this properly. You will be satisfied of result then. The nightmare of an perfectionist. Let's attach the hemming on the arm skies. I decided to first sew it in place and after iron the foldings because it's difficult to work with it due its extra elasticity. Pin the endings of bias tape on side seams right sides together. And sew the bolted bias tape. I attached one edge of the bias strip right sides together on the inside of the circumference of the armhole, pinning matching the marks with the numbers 6, 7, 5 and 8 together. I clipped off the protruding seam allowances in the central seams. Now I'm ironing the seam allowances. If you follow the instructions, they should be 1 cm wide. As I ran out of the fabric, I was forced to overall narrow down my bias tapes. Pinning on place before sewing is always important. Fold the strip over the seam allowance on the right side and pin like this to cover the original seam line. Sew together all the layers at the edge on the right side of the bias tape from the inside of the garment. After the sewing is done, press it with iron to achieve nice flat result. Enjoy the feeling of satisfaction of the well-done work. Let's try sewing a buttonhole on a fabric scrap for real first. Reinforce with the interfacing the wrong side of the place where will be the buttonhole. If you have the automatic button saving function on your sewing machine, you are lucky people. The rest of us need to learn it manually. First, I placed the pin so I would have a mark for the hole and didn't sew it up. Hole is done. Snipping off the extended threads, interfacing and ripping the opening with a seam ripper. Literally the only time when I'm happy to use it. I'm bordering the hole before cutting through with pins. Sewing of the buttons and we are done. Okay, the hole fits perfect to my button. I must confess that I'm not a very big fan of buttons, but the first testing of the sewn fastening is so pleasant. It was incredibly difficult for me to find the strength to finish this video. The obstacles of some technical circumstances were overwhelming for me and almost had eaten my patience. I'm glad I could finally show it to you.